Hello everyone, this is Red with RedDragonLeo.com. I wanted to do a technical update for you guys here. It's Monday the 23rd. As most of you know that have been following the blog, you know that I have updated, I guess you might say, my projected high from the 1405 to 1415 area based upon what I seen in the market last week and today's sell-off. We came right up and hit very, very close to the fake print of 138.46, I believe. No, 138.41 on the SPY last week. We were very, very close to it, coming up to 138.18. And many times these are not exact. They either pierce it and go past it a little bit, or they go just shy of it, and that was the case here. They went just shy of it. So now what we're looking at here is the ES, and we'll get to the SPY here in a second, but looking here at the ES, you can see that we are currently bouncing here in the market a little bit, but I do think that we're going to end up going back down again some more, and easily hitting this bottom area here, and probably hitting this line as well, if not even going deeper and hitting this line. Remember, if this is to be some type of wave 3 down, then could go deeper than the average of about 65 points that I have been noticing. So, but right now, this could be all that we're getting at the ES, simply because of how deep it is down here. So let's go to our little line tool here so you can see down here at the bottom. Okay, and we'll try to. Okay, so right here, as you can see here, this is -5 right now where this is at. And you can see that previous points that we've had was like here, and that lines up with this move right here, and then they went up and then they come back down, up and come back down as it rose up. So you can tell, that kind of tells you that what typically happens is you have an up move, then it rolls back over. Well, it doesn't go deeper. It usually comes more shallow, and as it's working its way up more shallow, the actual market is going lower, and that's where you get your positive divergence. Okay, is what happens there, and it doesn't always work, but most of the time it does. Like right here, you can see it looks like the market actually. Let's see, is that 12? Yeah, that's right there. So this was one where it did not work. It actually bottomed out and come back up and never made a lower low. But you have to match this up with the daily chart as well. Many times, here's another situation telling you that it's at a bottom, and then it come back down. It failed to make a lower low, but it really didn't make a positive divergence on these. As you'll notice, it didn't kind of go up and come down like this. So you have to look at the daily chart as well to see what the daily chart is. If the daily chart at this point was not rolling over hard like I believe it is right now, then it's a different story. Then you won't get that positive divergence. So let's go look at the daily chart here to kind of show you what I'm talking about here. And so we'll look at that time period, June 3rd. And okay, well, you can't really tell here on the ES, but okay, the June period. Okay, it was right here. There was your reasoning right here, as you can see, where we bottomed out here. I'm just going to move on from the ES and go into the SPX, but you can see when we came down here and we made that really low on the 60-minute chart. Look at where we was here. We were working our way up. We were already oversold. That's why. Here you're up at the top. You're getting ready to go down. That's the big difference as to why there's not always that negative divergence on that. So what I really want to look at is a different chart. That what I really want to look at is the SPX, which let me see here. Let's see, SPX, to give you a better idea of what we're expecting. As you can now see, we have hit some significant bottom areas here, and that's one of the reasons we're bouncing. You can see this line right here. See this line? Look at the low where it hit. It hit back here. It hit here. It hit a brief top right there, not anything significant, and it's a bottoming zone in this area, although it was pierced before. So you would expect it to be pierced again, and to me, it looks to me like the target, and so it came right down there, pegged that sucker, come right back up. To me, the target looks to be this 1330 area for this first move down before it finishes. And that makes sense, really, if you go from 1380 to 1330. That's about 50 points. I have noticed, and it could go deeper than that, but I have noticed that some of these moves down, they tend to run around 65 points. So like this one here is 1422, and this one down here is, what is that, 1360 or 1358 maybe. It's about 1358. So if it's 1360, that'd be 64 points. Okay, so that's 64 points. And then there was really no, then you had your bounce, and so they tend to stop you from making any money on getting short on any bounces. They do it overnight, and you don't really get that opportunity to get short. So if you see it here, you're seeing about, what is that, about 14. Well, there was a high up there, actually an intraday high of about, not sure what that was. I'm going to call that 1412 and guess. And before you had a decent bounce, which was here at that peak, you actually went down to there first, practically without even stopping. And that one was actually a little bit deeper. That was, let's see, that's about 1340, maybe. I'm not sure what that is because I can't really see because of this right here. 1344 there. I'm going to guess that was probably about 1348 or 1350. Let's just call it 1350. So that one was 62 points before you had a decent little bounce right there. You see how that bounce was, what's right there? And then you did it again. You went from about 1360, what is that? About 1365, I'm guessing. And then you went all the way down to here, and that was about, let's see, 1292 maybe or something like that. So what is that? That one's about 73 points. So you're getting the message here that we're not done yet. So we hit about 1380. So you need to really go down to about 1320, 1315 area. So that could easily put you right in that area. But if it follows trend lines, then it could go a little deeper and possibly hit this trend line right here at about 1305 before it's finished with this move. Now it could fall a little short and hit this one here, this trend line right here. But any way it goes, if this market turns back up and gives you an opportunity to get shorted, in my opinion, it should be shorted until we get at least to hit this trend line right here, if not hit this trend line. So those are my downside targets. And you can see we're rolling over here, folks. I mean, I know they might try to turn this sucker back up, but I really don't think so. I mean, let's go look at the weekly chart here and give you an idea. And as you can see here on the weekly chart, man, this thing looks ugly. This does not look ugly. I know I got a lot of lines here, but look at this, how high we was up here and where we've come, and now we're about even, and it wants to roll down. So, all indications are that this thing is going to just continue down and roll over. So we could be bouncing right into the Olympics. I guess it's possible we go down and then maybe bounce back up. If we look at this on the 60-minute chart, see we are bouncing here, and we are getting pretty low right here. You would expect it to come back up, possibly put in some type of negative divergence, and so you would expect that. But this, to me, everything here says to me this is just, this whole move here is probably, you could go micro count these moves right here, but I think what we had here was this whole move probably was some type of wave 1 down. Then this little sideways chop was a very small wave 2 where it put in a bear flag, and then we just had a wave 3 today. And then this move up here will be a wave 4 to wherever it goes. I don't think it's going to even get to there. I seriously doubt it. and then we should have a wave 5 down to what I say around 13.15 was my suggested target, but you got either there or there. But 13.15 cuts it in the middle. There's no obvious support that I can see, except if I draw a trend line right here. Look at that. That's pretty close. So that's this might be the trend line they're looking at. Drawing trend lines, you have to just guess at this stuff. But that would make pretty close. That would be about 65 points. Again, that's been the average. That doesn't make sense that it's going to always stay that way. That's just been the average. It could go further and go down to 13.05 or fall shallow here. But if it goes down, maybe it does hit this 13.15 maybe by Wednesday or something, and then maybe it bounces a little bit sideways or something into the Olympic time frame. Then the bad news could happen, and they could actually stage the false flag event during the Olympics. I really don't know about that. I'm just, it's just a guess. I mean, to me, they put out so much information about it that it makes you think that it's not going to happen, that they're trying to get the fear up. And I see that. I've seen that before in the past. I want you to think about this for a moment. There was no forewarning for the Japan Fukushima. If you remember that, none of the people spoke about it. Not Ben Fulford, not Lindsey Williams, not anybody. Nobody spoke about it. They just did it. And here they did the exact same thing with the Planet X or Nibiru or Nibiru, or how you want to pronounce it. They did the exact same thing there. They got it all over the internet and got everybody up in a state of fear, and nothing happened. This is part of the acting that they are doing. They're all just actors playing a part. And so at this point, I do not have any more faith in anything Benjamin Fulford says. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I don't know if he's just acting. I think he is. I think he's just an actor. But even if he's not, even if he's real, then he's been lied to, or he's doing it on purpose, because we're not getting any real information out of him. His timelines over the last 2 years I've been following him have never worked. They have always been off. That nothing has happened on those timelines. And we got the same situation with Drake and Lindsey Williams. Well, it's iffy because he never really sets a timeline. He just says by the end of 2012 we're going to have oil up to $150 to $200 a barrel. Well, yeah, I think that's going to happen. He seems to be more accurate, but I do believe they are using him as well. I don't know if he's an actor or if he's a real person. If he's a real person, then the elite are just using him. I don't hate either of these people. They're just doing their job. So I'll just leave it at that, and let you think about that. I mean, but the logic does tell me that they're going to have to do QE3, and Lindsey has said that. And logic also tells me that they're going to have to devalue the dollar. So I think the perfect time for that is during the next Legatus meeting, which isn't publicly talked about. Only myself and Reinhardt talk about Legatus, and so that's the only thing that seems to be working and accurate, and I got to give Reinhardt credit for that, because he's the one that discovered it, not me. So but I have discovered from learning the market the fake prints, and as you can see right here, we came very, very close to hitting it. We actually came at let's see, 138 15 on that print, 138 18 on that print. So we came pretty daggone close to hitting it, so it's valid. But the ironic thing was also that it was on a ritual date. Okay? It was on a ritual date, the 19th. And if you went back and I followed all these eyes, I don't have the time to do it on this video. Many of them were on ritual 11 dates. And you can do the math. 7 plus 1 plus 9 for the 19. There you're 17. And then plus 2 for the year 2000. Then plus 1 and plus 2, that all equals 22. 22 is a master number divided by 2, and it equals 11. And that's when we have our high, folks. That is when we have our high. So for the SPY, I would look for maybe this area down here, 132 area. So anyway, I am out of time now, guys. So I just wanted to give you an idea. I say short the bounces until we get down in that zone of around 13.15 or so. Good luck, everyone.